Hello, everyone. Welcome to our cultural thought of the week. This week, I wanted to think a little more broadly because I want to welcome all of our new followers who have joined our page in the last few weeks, especially since the beginning of September, and talk a little bit about our stories and what we do here. So, as you may have seen, we have different folks sharing their stories and their perspectives about both their home culture and where they're from, places they've traveled, and places they've lived, and how their perspectives on culture and belonging and home and these broader ideas have changed. Of course, every single person's story is subjective and very much their own story. And if you know some of the cultures that they're talking about, you may have your own opinions or your own thoughts about these things. I want you to keep this in mind as you watch our interviews, because sometimes they may say something that you feel differently about, but they may also say something that resonates with you that you say, yes. You are more than welcome to comment on our interviews with your own thoughts and perspectives. And here's my cultural thought of the week for you. What are some things about your home culture, where you're from, that people may say or think? And what is your response to that? Are there things about your home culture that you personally believe are true? Are there things that are said often about your home culture that you don't agree with, that you think are not quite that way? So, off the top of my head, one thing that is said about people from the United States often is that they're very loud. And I think maybe not every single person from the United States is loud, but compared to some other places I've been, I'd probably agree with that. I know I can be fairly loud when I'm in the right company, especially with other Americans. What are some things that people say that are false? That's a little bit of a harder one for me. I think, for example, I've been in cultures where people talk about the culture being reserved and even interpreting that as cold. I wouldn't always agree that a culture is cold just because they're reserved. But it can be tricky when you come from a different culture that's not that way, and your ideas of what's warm or polite are different from a culture who maybe stands back a little bit from you. So that's my thought for the week. Let me know about where you're from. Introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about that place and your thoughts about it. Looking forward to your comments.